You guys get a chance to come back to Alberta all the time now? Obviously, you guys grew up here, but you're so busy now. So, do you get a chance to come back a lot?
You know what? Actually, I did come back this summer for about 4 days because all of my, we're still close with a bunch of girls from high school, and they were all in Calgary randomly. And so, or we're all going to be in Calgary randomly. So we actually plotted and planned, and I came in. So we still try to take as much time back home as we can. But like our mom and our dad both moved to Vancouver, and a lot of our, best friends have moved away. But we still really appreciate the beauty and the very hometown feel of Calgary and Alberta. And we definitely try to make it to, to visit as much as we can, and we definitely always want to tour here. I mean, these would be cities we would never skip, ever, ever, ever. So.
Now, when you guys are out on tour like this, because I'm seeing you guys rushing around and doing all these interviews, do you get any chance whatsoever to enjoy any of the cities that you tour at?
Yes, we do. That the truth is, it's not every single time that we go through town that we are this busy, and certainly over the years we get to spend time in places and get to discover like what our favorite places are. We'll go back to for example like London or even New York. Like before, I'm sort of living in New York a little bit now, but I mean after 10 years of going there, you start to figure out, oh, these are my favorite neighborhoods. This is my favorite restaurant. These are my favorite stores to shop at, and so I think that over time you get to see the best parts of the city, and you get to avoid the worst ones.
So the latest album is Heartthrob. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, Heartthrob is our 7th record, but, we kind of technically almost kind of say it's our 4th major release, because starting with So Jealous in 2004, we really started to step it up, and we started to have a lot of support from a major label. But prior to that, we'd been very much, just out there kind of, figuring out who we were and laying down a foundation, developing as writers and performers. So I think Heartthrob is sort of that next step in our evolution. I think we moved more in a pop direction, and we tried to write songs that were hopefully more accessible. So far, so good. It seems like it's more accessible. And our goal wasn't necessarily to make more money, sell more records, that sort of stuff. It was just about the idea that we got to a point where we felt really convinced that the songs were good enough that more people should hear them. And, we've been experiencing a lot of growth over the last few years, and it seemed really exciting to expand that on purpose, to actually proactively say, let's make a record that could actually be played on the radio.
So with a song like Closer, was it not that surprising to you guys that it's got this wide range of appeal? A rock station will be playing it in Lite stations and top 40 stations. That wasn't a surprise at all to you guys?
I don't know if it was a total surprise. I mean, we had very high expectations of the song. We spent a lot of time talking about the song even before we went into the studio. I think Tegan, when she sent the demo to all of us, we knew it was a really special song. And I think what it really comes down to is we love everything we write, even the stuff that doesn't make the album cut. I think you put your heart and soul into it, but there are just melodies or moments in a demo where you can say, oh, this will be one of the hookiest things that we've written for this album cycle. And we knew that the second we heard Closer. So we very intentionally worked the heck out of that song and really worked on the chorus a lot. Tegan and I did a lot of spitballing, I guess you could say. We sang a lot of different choruses, and then when we landed on the one that eventually is now the chorus of Closer, we knew we'd really nailed it. And I don't even think there was ever a debate that it would be the lead-off single from this album.
Do you guys have a favorite off the album?
Well, I was just saying the other night in Calgary, I get really excited because on specific songs, especially new ones, I get to step back a bit when Sara's singing and go play keyboard, and I was really checking out the show. We've really stepped up our production with Heartthrob, and I was, for the first time ever, really getting to watch the show during Shock to Your System, which is the album closer, and the crowd was going crazy. Calgary loves Shock to Your System, apparently, but they were going crazy, and the show looked so good, and I was totally having a moment where I was like, yeah, this is my favorite song on the record, but it changes from night to night. It really depends on the audience. If the audience goes wild for Drove Me Wild, then I'm like, this is my favorite song. And then the next night, if people seem to really lose their minds when Sara steps up to sing How Come You Don't Want Me, then that's the one I look forward to playing. So that's what's exciting about being an artist. Everyone's like, oh, it must be so hard. You do the same thing every day, you answer the same questions, you play the same songs. But you'd be surprised. Every interaction we have with people, including the live show, is completely different from night to night. So it can make a song feel completely different. So.
All right, so a couple quick fire questions here for you guys. Favorite artists that you've worked with so far?
Oh gosh, I hate picking one because they're all so great. I think I creatively really loved working with Tiesto because it was an opportunity for us to work with a really world-class instrumentation, but then not necessarily have to be in the studio having like awkward Mr. Tiesto, what do you think of this thing? Like, we got to sort of like work separately from him, but that was a really satisfying collaboration.
Coolest city that you've had a chance to tour in?
Oh man, that's really tough. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we've been so blessed. We've gotten to go so many incredible places and seen crazy stuff. So, but I remember the first time going to Brussels in Belgium, and just that felt magical. There was something about, we'd been to a few other countries in Europe, but there was something about that day, that first time we were there. You know, we all got steak and fries, and we got waffles on the street and wandered around. It was just like a perfect evening, and I remember just thinking that really summed up like European experience, just that cobblestone street, and people are really nice and attractive, and you know.
Back to the artist quickly, someone that you'd like to work with in the future.
Oh my God. Right now I've been thinking a lot about like how it would be super cool for us to work with another big vocalist. So like an Alicia Keys or a Katy Perry or a Robin or something like that. Like, 'cause a lot of times when we're doing collaborations, it's usually they're providing musical stuff for us, and then Tegan and I are writing the hooks and the vocals. So I think I'd like to hear us do some kind of vocal thing with another big pop female lady. I guess I don't need to say female and lady. I mean, that would be obvious that if it was just a lady, that she was female.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, one last question. You guys can both answer this one. The most famous person in your cell phone contacts list right now?
Well, we got hacked a few years ago, and in the process of getting hacked, it was both a very liberating and exciting experience, because I kind of got to be like, good, I don't have to talk to fill in the blank with whatever that random person that you accidentally gave your number to when you were drunk. Like, there was an exorcism, if you will, in my cell phone book, and my email addresses, but I also lost a lot of contacts, so I don't have a ton of I don't have any really good brags, to be honest. I mean, we're also at a level where I feel like it's a lot of like, your people will call my people, and schedule, whatever. But we are about to go on tour with Fun, and they're in our address book.
Okay, wait, I have one. Okay, Tegan is the most famous person in my address book, yeah.
Tegan and Fun. Those are our big ones, so.